Creative Katie, Karen Birchall, presents a new mixed media series for 2017. It's called Mixed Media Technique Tags. Come learn a wide variety of art journaling and mixed media techniques. But that's not all. Learn also how to set up an organizational system of those techniques that you can easily access. Take time to hit the subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss any of these upcoming videos.
Hi everybody, Karen Birchall, Creative Katie, and I'm really excited because today I'm going to start a new series on my YouTube channel and my blog because there will be information shared and on both of those, so you're going to have to visit both to get everything. What this series is mixed media technique tags. It's something that I have been thinking about for over a year. Wanted to start in 2016, beginning of 2016. Didn't have the time to do it as I was wrapping up my teaching career and then relocating to a different province in Canada. So it just didn't happen, but it's been at the back of my mind, percolating and trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. So it is going to be all about the various mixed media techniques, tidbits, and tips. And we're going to do them on tags. Now, why tags, you say? Well, I think one of those reasons is I kind of inadvertently did a couple technique videos on tags, and I found it really nice to have them to go back to and look at the colors or the technique or whatever. So it was a nice reference for me to go back to. Also, I discovered when I did the index card a day, and I did it on old flashcards that are pretty much the size of this tag, that it's really risk-free because it's a small enough piece of substrate to not have the fear that goes with it. And sometimes when I'm trying things, as you can see here, I tried different techniques. Here was I was using my dilution paints. Here I was using a paper that I found and trying the textures and using my Lindy sprays, and I did it a little bit differently on this tag and a little bit differently on this one. And it was nice to have these tags, and I found myself going back to these. So, and I thought, gee, what if we had a bunch of tags that had different techniques? Then we could simply put it together on one of these rings, and then we can go back to it whenever we're looking for inspiration or whenever we're stumped. Now, the other thing that I wanted to add to this was something on the backs of the tags that gave us a little bit more information. And for this idea, I have to thank Andrea Walford. Now, Andrea Walford has a YouTube channel, Art Journal Express. I don't know if she's actively making videos right now because it's not something I haven't watched her for a while. But when I started, and this is kind of my first journals, it wasn't even journal paper, it was what I had. What she did is she would keep track on the back or this page beside what she did, including the colors of paint. So I use the embossing folder, I use these mediums, I use these colors, this is what I did, and so I went through all of them. And you can see, again, there's the colors and the steps that I had. And I found that really helpful, especially when I was just starting out, because I would go back and say, okay, I really liked how this worked. So I would add, then I would add some of them. I would put on there changes. Next time I would omit this color because this color seemed to distract from it. So I found this really useful. So I thought, okay, so I'm going to do my mixed media technique tags. So I have kind of this, and then on the back we are going to have information that we are going to fill out. Now my plan is to get on my Word, get on Word and make a template that you will be able to download from my blog and attach to the back of your tag to fill out, or you can just write it in on your own. I think I'm not going to print them out and do that. I think I'm just going to print the captions in there. So I'm still working on exactly all what I want to put on the back. Now, so what you need to do before we get started in 2017 is you need to get some tags. Now, I'm going to use this size of tag right here. And this one is 3 1/8 inch by 6 1/4 inch. And again, this was a purchase size that existed out there, or 8 centimeters by 16 centimeters. Now, I only have 1 or 2 of these. I'm not even sure where I got them. I probably got them from my friend Yvonne. And what I did when I was cleaning up my craft room, my studio, and getting rid of things, I had, because I was a teacher, I had lots of file folders. So what I did is I just used the one here and I cut up file folders. And then just laid this on and cut the corners and then punched the holes in place by using the template. I'm not going to worry about this. We're probably going to gesso most of these because that tends to be what I do for the most part. It could be the other side. I'm not going to worry too much about that at all. Now, if you like the little look here, and you want that on your tags to finish them off, you can go to the dollar store and purchase some self-adhesive reinforcements. Take out the sheet, and if you have any kind of ink or distress ink, could be StazOn, it could be brown. This one happens to be walnut stain. It's what I have. And you get that on there and just, now you can use acrylic paints, thin them out. You can use watercolor crayons. You can use whatever. And just do several pages of this. So here we kind of did a little bit more of the colors there. So depending on what you have available, you can mix and do as much work or as little as you want with that. So then I would just do several sheets of this and have them at the ready. I don't think I would put them on until I was done the technique, and then I would simply just pull this off and put this on the tag. I'm not going to do that. Simpler is better. I don't care if it's not going to be there. It's it's not a big bother to me. So the other thing is you can use old file folders. Ask your neighbors if they have any old file folders that they're recycling. Go to an office and ask if they've got any that they're getting rid of. You can access them different places, thrift stores and that. You can also go out and buy manila tag that, you know, in sheets and cut your own. Now you can get the manila color, the normal color that would, or you can get white. Now the white one's a little bit thinner. I don't think it's going to matter for the purposes of what we're going to do. They're both kind of smooth, they've both got a smooth surface. You can also use, if you want, mixed media paper. If that's what you have, use mixed media paper, cut it up into the size that you want, and get these ready because we are going to do lots. I've been sitting down and I have kind of I'm going to give you a sneak peek, not too close though, of pages and pages of ideas of what I might use for a video for our mixed media technique tags. So your job is to get these tags ready. You can make them bigger if you'd like. This is the size I'm going to go with. So 3 1/8 inch by 6 1/4 inch, 8 centimeters by 16 centimeters. So you can use whichever size of these. These are standard sizes that you can go out and buy, or you can cut your own and make it a size that's going to work for you. When it comes to putting information on here, I might find that this is a little small, but I'm going to commit to that. So once you get your tags, what we're going to do is make some categories. And I've decided on, I think, 6 different categories. And the ideas for the categories have come from the Journaling by 5 process by Shannon Green. If you aren't familiar with that, Google it. There are tons of videos. I have some videos. I'll put a link to my videos on the Journaling by 5 process. It's how I really got into art journaling and how I discovered how things worked in art journaling. And if you have the 5 basic components on your page, or most of those components, because I would say some of them don't have every category, your art journal page will turn out. You need some information from all of them. So my categories are color, and by that I mean different mediums as well as information about colors and blending and that kind of thing. So any of the techniques, tidbits, or tips, and that will go into that category. Texture, creating texture, be it physical or visual texture. Pattern, creating pattern. How do we get pattern on our page? Now, some of these categories, we might find that a particular technique, tidbit, or tip might fall into several categories. And I ask that you put it into the category that you feel it belongs in. We may list on the back of the tag all 3 categories or 2 categories that it fits into, but put it where it fits most logically for you. Everybody's going to see things and view things just that little bit different. So pattern, collage. Collage was a difficult one for me. I did not get collage, and I still struggle with it to some degree. So finishing, or the details, how to finish off that page, how to take it from okay to wow. And then we're just going to have a category of other. So I printed these off using my word, and I'm going to have this in a G drive that will be available, but you're going to have to go to my blog to get that link. So I'm going to have these available. Feel free to print out your own, use whatever font speaks to you. You can do your own lettering if that's what you like. So what we're going to do is make some category cards. And what I thought I would do is just pull out some jelly prints in all different colors. So I need 6 of these. So I'm going to just basically pick from, I went and I pulled from my big blue box, my filing system, and I'm just going to adhere these onto my tags. So I have my whole set of tags here. So what I'm going to do is just use, for the purposes of this, I'm going to use Mod Podge Matte. I don't want the shine, which is why I'm using matte, but you can use matte gel if that you prefer, or whatever you use to adhere things with. So now all that's going to go on here is the word, so it's not particularly difficult. But I figure we might want to have it categorized and organized according to categories. Some people, you may want to skip this step. That's fine. You know, I just tend to be fairly organized and structurized. So, just like I said, I want to set up, not only teach you some new techniques and things, but I also want to help you set up a system that you can easily access and go to when you're stuck, when you're unable to come up with ideas, or you're looking to try some new techniques, that you'll have some place to go to, that you will have all the information and a sample of that. The goal is not to end up with end pages, although I will at times throw out a challenge to use this technique and create a page, and I'm going to set up some hashtags on for the social media so we can have that there. I'm just going to set that aside to dry. To finish for all of these, and I'm going to cut them, dry them, and then cut them, and then I will be back. So now that I've got a couple of these, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing with the title, the categories. I'm just cutting right close to it. I'm leaving a little bit of a white edge, and just so that the word kind of pops off regardless of what color the background is. Now some of these might look better or worse on some of the background colors that you create. So now if you have a silhouette, you can definitely cut these words out using whatever font. I believe this font is called Honey Script. It was a free download or free font from defont.com. It's typically where I get all my fonts from. And we will talk about that in one of the categories, one of the technique tags down the road. If you're not a fussy cutter, you can just put a block on and have it that way. It doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it. Personalize this and make it work for you. So, and again, I'm just going to use the Mod Podge. And I'm just roughly going to center it on the card. Okay, so we have the tags. So what I've started to do is just edge them just to make them a little stand out a little bit more. I've used my distress
So I've increased the speed here, but basically all I'm doing is adding borders and edging all the cards. Now, at times I'm using my um, distress crayons. This is me using my Neocolor 2, which is so highly pigmented you can really tell the difference. And I'm also using gelatos. Now some of the tags that I put the color on, like here the green one, I did go back and I did add a little bit of black as well. And I like the double layered look on them. The print, the label had black in it, and I think that just made it work all together. So I'm just adding that little bit of detail, but I didn't think it was necessary to. So once I have the edges all done, I decide to go in with my Sakura Jelly Roll pens, and with a coordinating color to the jelly print in the background, I'm just adding a dash, dash, dash on the black of the label. Here are the finished category tags that I created. I'm looking forward to seeing your category tags. Please share them either on my blog or my Facebook group, All Things Mixed Media, Creative Katie. Check out my blog for more information and any printables. See you soon with the first mixed media technique tag video.